Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's weekly live immigration attorney chat sponsored by Immigration for Couples. If you are new to our Facebook page or if you're watching this video on our social media channels like YouTube, our firm hosts a weekly live immigration attorney chat where we discuss topics related to the world of immigration for couples. And we love to hear from our listeners. The purpose of our Facebook lives, the purpose of our YouTube channel, and also the free resource center on our website is to provide couples with support and clarity as they start their immigration journey or if you're in the middle of your immigration journey. So we'd love to hear from all of you about what are your questions? What questions do you have in the immigration process? Or even if you want to share how your immigration journey is going. But let us know what your questions are so we can make sure we're tailoring the content to your specific needs. So without further ado, I'd like to dive into today's topic. It is, can I work on a tourist visa? So over the past few weeks, I've been making a lot of videos about particular immigration violations and waivers because this has come up a lot. We've had a lot of questions about individuals who have gone to consular interviews and then they reach out to us and say that, they had been doing their case, they got to the interview, they thought everything was fine, and then they got a denial, or maybe their significant other was entering the United States on a tourist visa and actually was refused entry and got turned away. And so I wanted to make more videos on this topic of waivers and issues that a person can run into in the immigration process. So can I work on a tourist visa? That's a question that we've been receiving. And the short answer is, the easy answer is no. That is the answer. On a tourist visa, just like it sounds, the purpose of a tourist visa is that you're coming for tourist reasons, for vacation, for a visit. That visa doesn't authorize you to work in the United States. What happens though if you came to the U.S. on a tourist visa and you worked? What can happen and what can happen in that situation? Say, and I'll just give an example. Say you had come to the U.S., you were working on your tourist visa, and you left, and then you were returning. A lot of times when you're coming on a tourist visa, you'll get sent to something called secondary inspection, and you'll be answering questions from an agent, an immigration agent, about what are the intentions of your visit and why are you here. If they find out that you've been working, or if they ask you that question, have you been working? Of course, you need to be honest. You don't want to lie to an immigration official. That causes a lot of issues, a lot of problems. But if they find out that you were working in the United States on your tourist visa, they can actually they can revoke your tourist visa and then they can refuse you entry. They won't allow you to enter the United States. You'd have to return home. So if that happens, if you've experienced that, or if you know you've already worked on a tourist visa and you're going through an immigration process, it's really important to be aware not only that this isn't something that you're allowed to do, but what are the consequences? What are the consequences of working on a tourist visa? So the Immigration and Nationality Act, it's a very long book. It's the Bible of immigration laws, has a long list of problems that a person can have in their immigration history. Working on a tourist visa is one of them. And so if you would be entering the US and they would ask you that question and your visa would get revoked because you've been working, there's a lot of different things that can happen, but what most commonly would happen after your visa is revoked is you'll be given a 5-year bar. And that basically, immigration has different bars. They have 3, 10, 5-year bars. Some of them are permanent, but in this instance, it would be a 5-year bar. So if you are married or engaged to a United States citizen, there's a way to overcome this problem. It's a longer path. It's a more complicated situation, but there is a way to overcome this issue, and we've helped many clients to do this. You have to actually apply for a permission to be able to reapply, to be able to receive any kind of immigration benefit, and you have to file a waiver to ask for forgiveness. And so this process is what has to be done. And immigration has to approve your permission to be able to reapply, to receive an immigration benefit, and they have to approve your waiver as part of the fiancé visa process or the spouse visa process for you to be able to re-enter the United States with your fiancé visa or green card. So it's really important to be aware of if this happens to be your situation. There are many nuances. If you've been watching our channel, or if you follow our YouTube channel or read any of our blogs, you'll know that one of my famous things that I always say, because it's true, immigration law has a lot of nuances. So this is specifically what would happen in a spouse or fiance visa context. There is a case type called adjustment of status that happens here in the United States. And there would be a waiver process as well. If you had been working on a tourist visa and you came with that intention, you would have to also file a waiver of forgiveness. The process and the steps are a little different, but overall, if you have been working on a tourist visa, it's important to be aware of those consequences and reach out to an immigration attorney if this has happened to you, or if you know this is in your past, to make sure you're taking the right steps. And making sure you're preparing your case and ready for that waiver that can occur. All right, so I hope that helps give you clarity on this specific question about working on a tourist visa. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel or other social media outlets, I invite you to check out our free resource center at immigrationforcouples.com. And you can follow our Facebook page so you can participate in these weekly live chats. And I do have a few comments here, or questions, so I will take a look. I'm excited to have all of you with me here today. Okay. Hi, Eds Cervantes. It's really great to have you here today. So this is a really great question. So you're employed, you have a job in your home country, and you're on a work from home setup. Isn't work from home so nice? I love it. I can be home with my cozy office and with my dog. So that's great that you get to have one of those jobs. So you'll be on the US on vacation. So this is perfect. This is a really good question, a really good follow-up from what I was talking about, not being able to work on a tourist visa. So this is different, right? You're working for a company that's outside of the US. So please understand that this isn't necessarily, I'm not giving you legal advice. There can always be nuances, but in general, I can say that in general, if you're working remotely for a company that's not a US based company and you're just here on vacation, that's not the type of work that would cause you issues on a tourist visa. When I'm talking about, can I come to the US and work on a tourist visa, that means, are you coming on a tourist visa, and then are you coming here and going to a US company or performing services for someone here in the US? So that's what unauthorized work on a tourist visa is. But typically, if you're just doing remote work for a company outside of the US and you're here on vacation, that shouldn't be an issue. But that's a great follow-up question. Yes, Lisa, thank you for being with us. I wish I had a magic wand, right, to make the immigration system go faster. So you're very welcome, Eds. That you'd like to know why USCIS is taking so long to start your petition. You submitted yours in July of 2022, and they're saying they can't even answer my questions until January. Shocking, right? That seems insane, because it is. What type of petition do you have? Can you put that in the comments? Is it a fiance visa petition? Is it a spouse visa petition? And I'll keep talking while I wait for you to put that in there, if you're willing to share that. So the wait times for immigration cases across the board have ballooned. So pre-COVID pandemic, the wait times were half of what they are now. And so there was a lot of things that have happened over the past years, and the Trump administration, and then the COVID pandemic. There were a lot of things. Every time we have a change of president and political situations and things of that nature, plus a pandemic, there can always be a lot of changes and a lot of impact on the immigration system. Plus, it was a trifecta of things. Plus, immigration was already struggling with funding. So it was this trifecta, these three things. The prior administration was putting up a lot of additional hurdles, making the process harder. They actually closed a lot of immigration offices abroad. And then the pandemic, and then the financial issues. And so it, made wait times really balloon. So I know that doesn't fully answer your question, but it is those three things that have caused the long wait times. So I see, Lisa, you say a fiance visa. Yes, and the fiance visas we're seeing take about 15 months So just so you know, though, I know that, and we have seen here at our office, that what USCIS is doing is they're saying you can't make an inquiry until 2024 or 2025, because they used to have a system in place where we could make a what's called an outside of normal processing request. We get on and we would put in the information and say, hey, you've gone beyond the estimated wait time. What's going on? Our clients need a decision. They were getting inundated with those requests. And so they moved that time period out even further. So you can't even make that request. So you can't even get through. So hopefully that answers your question. It's not what you want to hear, but at least it gives you some background, some context about why immigration is taking so long. What I will tell you is that we are seeing that there have been some improvements in wait times, and in different types of cases. I know you said this is a fiance visa, but we are seeing shorter wait times for adjustment of status, for naturalization. Immigration has announced that they are hiring more immigration officers, both at the USCIS level and then also at the Department of State, the U.S. embassies and consulates abroad. And they are making a concerted effort to decrease the wait times. It is going to take time for that to happen. What I will tell you is if you filed in July of 2022, like I said, what we're seeing is about a 15-month wait. We've had, some unicorns that get a decision at, month 12 and sometimes at month 16, but at least you're getting closer. And also, I always want to let couples know, I've gone through the process personally, and I always want to remind couples, I know it's stressful. You want to check every day. You just want a decision and you want it today and you want to be together. But I encourage you to take some time as a couple and focus on the future, focus on what you want for your future, and try to not let that immigration case be a cloud that follows you around and consumes you. I know it's easier said than done, but when my husband and I were going through the process, doing that, really helping to make sure we're focusing on nurturing our relationship, it really builds your resiliency individually and as a couple. So I hope that gives you some silver lining that you are getting closer. All right. And it looks like I have another question here. Let me read it. It's a bit long before I pull it up. Okay. Hi, Mary. Okay. Here's a Turkish citizen. Give me 1 minute to finish reading this. We're waiting for the I-130 to be approved. Just have to complete it before he receives a green card. Okay, so that's really going to be country specific. So if he has until the year of 2027, to complete it, if he can get that taken care of, that would be great. Typically, you shouldn't have to for being able to receive a green card, but I'd really have to, take a more in-depth look at your case to be able to provide you with legal advice. But typically that wouldn't be something that's an immigration requirement. That's a country specific requirement. If he's a Turkish citizen, that's that country's laws. So it really should just be through that country, and it shouldn't have an impact on the U.S. immigration case. I can't say with 100%, certainty without knowing more details, but in general, that would be the information that I would provide for that question. So hopefully that helps. All right. That's all the questions that I have. Thank you all so much for being here. I've enjoyed spending time with you here this week and today, and I will see you all next week. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Take care.